Welcome back to another video. I'm in London at the moment and it's so hot. It's like 32 degrees today, which is hot for here. That's pretty hot. And I'm just sweating so much. Pretty gross. So I found some shade to give an update on how the writing is going. And in a few words, it's going really well. I'm sat outside the Tate Modern, which is there. There it is. And I'm in this nice sort of grove of trees. It's quite nice. I'm in London house sitting for my sibling for most of September, so expect to see more of the city. So I got here a couple of days ago. What I was talking about in the last video, if you change your surroundings, then it sort of gives you a fresh perspective on what you're working on. I've taken that to its extreme and come to London. I spent the last couple of days just trying out different areas to write in, and it's been kind of amazing. And the scene that I've been talking about for the last few videos, that Council of Elrond scene, as I've been calling it, you know, it's the Council of Elrond moment. It's that Council of Elrond scene. This Council of Elrond scene. The one where everyone's talking about the plot and the problem and how they're going to fix it and putting the team together. I literally finished that in a day. That felt like a massive sort of roadblock. I felt like I was treading water a little bit. I was stuck in quicksand, all those kind of metaphors. I've got through that scene and I actually really enjoyed it. And I actually discovered quite a lot about the story and where it was going to go. And actually something about the characters as well. Again, it goes back to what I was talking about in the other video about when the writing is going really well, it kind of writes itself and the characters kind of take over. And as pretentious as that sounds, it really is true. So that's what was happening yesterday. And I wrote about 2,000 words, which for me is really good to do in one sitting. I did it in maybe an hour and a half, something like that. But that hour and a half was spread out across different areas. So first I went to this cafe, which I used to go and write in a lot when I lived in London back in 2016. It's right by this great big park in South London, and it's just a really nice place to sit. And you can just sit there for hours and just carry on working, which is what I used to do. And then after that, I went to central London and I went to the BFI, the British Film Institute. And that's right on the river, and they have several different areas which are really nice to sit in and do writing. Again, you can just sit there for ages and just work and work and work. And there's just always something new to look at, or if you're feeling a bit stuck, you just look around you and there's just amazing stuff going on. And because it's the BFI, it's a really creative space to be in. So you're sat there and you can feel people working on creative projects of their own around you. I can hear people talking about film scripts they're working on. There's a table of writers behind me talking about where the plot of their film was going to be going next, trying to work out the intricacies of the plotting and everything. So just being in that kind of environment really sort of gets the creative juices going, you know. Then I went to somewhere I've never actually been before, which was the British Library. And that was amazing. I had no idea what it was like inside. It's just this huge building and it's full of amazing stuff. I saw the oldest, and I think it's the first, version of Shakespeare's published works from just a couple of years after he died, I think it was. I think it's called his first folio. I took a picture, I'll put it here, and I think the name of it's there, so if I'm right, then you can see now. So that was really amazing to see that. But they've got tons of stuff. They've got even like Monty Python's handwritten scripts. So you have that inspiration right there as you're working. And they just have so many working spaces in the library itself. So I wrote there for a little while. It feels like quite a modern building when you're in there, but then you'll just be typing away and then all you need to do is look to your side and you've got this big glass wall with just rows and rows of really old books just stacked there. You really feel like you're in the center of a lot of cultural history, which is really kind of inspiring when you're there. So being in all those places yesterday and working in all those places let me do just so much writing that I actually got over this great big roadblock that I've been struggling with for ages. So I'm feeling really good about it. And I've done some more today as well. I'm going to do some more now. So now I've gotten past that slightly sort of delicate, tricky part of the story. I'm right at that really exciting point when the actual adventure's about to begin and they're all together and they know what they're doing. And I've got all these ideas of where it could go next. And I'm closing in on about 20,000 words, I think, which feels about right in terms of the size of story that I want to write. So I've proven what I was saying before, how if you change your surroundings, it can completely shake you out of whatever funk you're in. And I really honestly can't wait to see where this story goes next, which I haven't really felt about this story for quite a long time. I've been writing it for a few years now. And with NaNoWriMo coming up, I can honestly say I can kind of begin to see a way through it, a path through it. God knows how that'll change as the writing progresses, but I'm just really excited to carry on with it, which has to be the most important thing, right? Okay, I've moved. Come to the station to meet Rosie. I came a couple of days ahead of her. Gonna go meet her. Actually now says she's delayed. I know there's a bookshop around here, so I think I'm gonna go and try and find it. just not that delayed. I've got to go now. It kind of ties into what I was talking about before, about the story kind of writing itself eventually. But there's one character in particular which I haven't really given too much thought until literally the last couple of days or so. And they've kind of turned into something way more interesting than I originally thought they were going to be. And I think they might actually end up being a main character, which I don't know how that's going to affect the plans, but we'll see. Okay, Rosie's just getting here, so I've got to go and meet her now. Kind of running all over the place. This character that I'm talking about, I guess you kind of describe her as like a wise woman, but she's also like kind of a witch as well. And she's just kind of developing in this really interesting way where she's kind of ambiguous. I won't say too much about her because, you know, it may well change as I go. But yeah, I'm really interested to see where it's going to go. Expect more videos from London, as I am here for several weeks, or a couple of weeks, not several. And I plan on doing lots of writing, especially preparing for NaNoWriMo, which would be really, really good. Thanks for watching. Just a quick update again. Like, subscribe, hit the bell. I'll see you next time. Bye. Bye.